Okay, so like me, you're an aging male and you've decided that you want to put together a plan to slow, stop, or even reverse the aging process. But you know that putting together a plan is complex, it's confusing, and it's time consuming. So in this series, I break down that process for you. This is Lance, and I'm back with a third video in this series. In the first two, I identified what I think are the four primary elements of an action plan: optimizing your hormone health, losing weight, exercising, and eating good food to support this plan. And I went into detail on the first element, optimizing your hormone health. If you haven't watched those videos, I've put links to them along with a final video in this series in the description below. In this video, I'll be covering the second and third components to the plan: weight loss and nutrition. I'll be talking about optimal body fat percentages, the effects of excess body fat on the hormones, and the effects of lower body weight. I'll also be talking about nutrition, both the types of foods that you need to be eating and the types of foods that you need to avoid. Oh, by the way, spoiler alert, they're highly refined and processed foods. And I'll also be talking about some of the benefits of good nutrition. Okay, so the second component to any man's plan to turn back the clock has to do with your weight. If you're overweight, then you need to lose that extra weight and get your body fat down to 15% or lower. And when I say lower, I mean down to around 10 to 12%. 15% is the maximum amount of body fat that you can be carrying without being into the overweight zone. And you don't want to be just barely under the overweight zone. You want to be a lot under it. In your plan to optimize your testosterone levels, losing weight is one of the things that should be at the top of your list. All that extra fat consists of adipose tissue, and adipose tissue secretes an enzyme called aromatase. And aromatase converts your hard-won and increasingly insufficient levels of testosterone into estrogen. You heard me right. Your fat converts your testosterone into estrogen. And higher estrogen levels can make your body more prone to adding excess weight as fat. So it's like a double whammy. All that excess fat that you're carrying converts your testosterone into estrogen before it has a chance to work its magic. And then that estrogen makes you more likely to put on even more fat, creating even more aromatase. It's an endless cycle, and one that you must break. Because as you lose the weight, as you lose the fat, you are creating less and less aromatase. And as you create less aromatase, you stop converting T into estrogen, and you become less prone to gaining weight as fat and more prone to gaining weight as muscle. But losing weight isn't just good for your hormone levels. It's great for every aspect of turning back the clock. Now, I know you've all heard the statistics about obesity, how it shortens your lifespan, how it makes you more prone to stroke, heart attacks, diabetes, cancer, high blood pressure, osteoporosis, sleep apnea, kidney disease. The list just goes on and on. Losing weight will make you less prone for all of these risk factors and can not only extend your lifespan, but can extend that period of your life in which you are active and perfectly capable of enjoying life to the fullest. There seems to be a movement in the United States and in the world at large these days to make being obese okay. I constantly see items on the internet and in the news about everyone's right to have whatever type of body they want, about a seeming propensity to celebrate the slim athletic body and not the overweight one. Phrases like weight privilege, thin privilege, fat shaming, and countless others have entered the public lexicon. Now, while I absolutely agree that everyone has a right to have whatever type of body that they choose, and that shaming a person just because they're overweight should never be tolerated under any circumstances, the fact remains that for every action, there are consequences. And some of the consequences for being overweight or obese are a statistically shorter lifespan, a propensity towards diseases like diabetes, metabolic syndrome, stroke, and heart attack, and many of the others that I mentioned earlier. But also things like having to pay higher rates for health and life insurance because of the aforementioned risk factors, like having to pay more for any airline ticket, for not being able to easily find fashionable clothing that fits. And the simple reality is that more people are attracted to people who are lean and fit and athletic. And there's nothing wrong with that. Lean, fit, and athletic is the way that nature intended us to be. Now, I'm not going to pretend that these methods will work on everybody. Every body is different. Every body processes nutrients and exercise differently. And there are bodies out there that will resist these methods. But in my opinion, the vast majority of people out there will benefit from these methods. So how do you go about losing weight? Simple. Eat right and exercise. Now, I realize that might seem overly simplistic, but in essence, that's what you need to do. You need to be burning 500 to 1,000 more calories than you consume on a daily basis. And you should be doing this by consuming fewer calories, by eliminating junk food from your diet, and by burning more calories than you currently are, by exercising. So let's tackle nutrition first. You need to learn what foods are healthy and what foods are good for you, and what foods are unhealthy and undermine any attempt to turn back the clock. Because in my estimation, and this is totally my opinion, 90 to 95% of the food that is available to you to eat is unhealthy. It is processed and refined to the point where it's full of chemicals and preservatives and hormones and antibiotics. The list just goes on and on. Now, I posted a video earlier on the top 3 reasons aging men may be overweight, in which I go on at length about the problems that I have with our food supply. And I'll put a link to that video in the description below. So, what foods are healthy? Organic, whole foods that you prepare yourself. When you sit down to a meal, ideally, it should be a meal that you make from scratch, from organic, whole foods only. And here's the thing, learning to eat right is not only going to support your effort to lose weight, it's also going to support your effort to optimize your hormone health. It's going to support your effort to get fit and put on more muscle mass. It's going to clean out your arteries and improve your heart health. It's going to improve so many aspects of your health that it's almost impossible to list them all. In my humble opinion, learning what type of fuel your body needs to run most efficiently is the single most important thing that you can do to optimize your health and to live a long and active life. Now, I've already posted a number of videos about how to do just that, and I'll be posting a lot more in the future. In the next video, the final one in this series, I'll be covering the final component to an action plan, exercise. I'll also be going over a bunch of strategies for addressing secondary elements to that plan. In the description below, I've put the links to all the videos in this series, as well as putting links in the cards in the upper right corner of the screen. If you've enjoyed this video, then please subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends and on your social media. Hit the like button and leave a comment. And be sure to hit the bell to be notified when I post a new video, which should be every Tuesday, with bonus videos on the occasional Friday. And as always, thank you so much for watching.